Hello, everyone, and today we're doing a review on the original Friday the 13th that was released in 1980. Let's get into it.
5, 6,
Must be my imagination.
7,
Can I help you? Hello?
8, 9, 10,
Okay, so just so you know, uh, I'm recording this on Tuesday. This will be up on Wednesday, and it'll be double because I'll have this and Evil Dead 2 coming out, hopefully. So, I have to talk about this movie more in a sense of how I liked it and I didn't like it like I always do. But I have to talk about more in a sense that I feel like it's just copying Halloween. The fact is, I like the original, but I don't like it. I think the original four are still great, except two, which if you watch my review on it, I hammer two in, but this one feels very average. Just it's a great film, I think. Like it's a fun horror film, but it's one that you're never gonna want to watch multiple times, like four or any other ones, 4 or 6, like which are easily the best, and the remake, which I think those are top three for me if I did a ranking. But I think the remake is even better than this one. The fact that the remake was more gruesome and stuff, but this one just felt too Halloweenish. I know it's the beginning of a series, and really, the series, like Friday the 13th, is one of the slasher movies that's not given a shit about. Like, I would say this and other ones, like, no, just this one, that it's a movie that's got its fans fucking love. And but critics and everything hate on it, and every like one outside of the horror community sees Friday the 13th. They're like, yeah, it's fucking shit. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying a lot of people that don't watch horror and are very close minded to horror and stuff like that. They shit on this movie. Like in the whole series, they call it fucking boring. They call it terrible. But I would say you can argue that at least most of the movies in the Friday the 13th series are garbage. Like I would only say there's really only two true bad ones. Is the one where they not the one where they go to space. Jason Goes to Hell and two. The rest of them are completely okay. Like the one where he goes to Manhattan, the space one. They're corny as fuck, but I love them in a sense that they're so bad they're fucking stupidly funny. I like those ones in that sense, but I don't like. I would never call this franchise a fucking failure. I wouldn't call it misogynistic or anything that which a lot of people said this movie was. Because if you really think about it, uh, I forget who it said. I think it was Roger Ebert said this movie's like misogynistic. It's violence towards women, but it happens to everyone in the movie. If you really think about it, it doesn't just happen to men or women. Like it doesn't just happen to women. It happens to men and women. Um, so I'm gonna move on from all that stuff. My opinion on why I think this movie is one of the better horror movies, but I'm gonna actually get into the true reasons why I like this movie. I just gotta say it. Tom Savini's a fucking legend at what he does for gore. Tom Savini did such a good job, and there's two kills in this movie that really impact me. It's the one where the girl Annie gets her throat slit. I think that was her name, by Pamela Voorhees. If you didn't know, Jason wasn't the killer in this one. He wasn't the killer until the second one. This one was done by Pamela Voorhees. So she gets her throat slit, right? And like she jumps out of the Jeep. She's rolling. She gets her throat slit, and fuck, it's not the fact that it's a throat slit. It's almost the fact of the throat slits I've seen. It's you see that it's fucking disgusting. I just have to show it to you. So, that was the character's any death. I really just think that death was so brutal, and it looked good. That movie's thing with this movie was made between, I think, 1979 and 1980, with a movie set in 1979 and shit. But that effect was so well done, and it's just probably a simple effect. I want to show you the next death is Jax, which is another fucking amazing death that is done by Tom Savini. So a lot of things I'm gonna say are positive here are I would say the kills, the gore, and that's honestly really about it. The movie is good, but it's also lame. You can understand that it's just a Halloween ripoff. And that's kind of boring. The fact that it doesn't feel like a natural horror film that just wants to copy another one. That's what Sean S. Cunningham exactly wanted. He just wanted to make bank because fucking Halloween did it in 1978. Because Halloween was shot on about the same amount of budget as Friday the 13th and made millions of dollars. And that's exactly what Friday the 13th did. I gotta say, the real point at this movie where it truly became its own series was part 4. I praised for 4 enough, and I might remake that review in part 1 and part 3, but I can't say enough good things about those movies. They're fantastic. But this movie, it's more like you watch it when you want to just watch a horror film. That's about it. When you're just feeling bored, you slap on Friday the 13th, part 1. I remember, like, there's the character Jack. Like, I totally didn't know I remember the name Annie. Marcy, Ned, Alice, Steve. The characters are memorable, I'll say that. And some of them are kind of entertaining. But I would say the part where this movie gets really fucking good is the fight between Alice and Mrs. Voorhees. I would say the killer reveal would have been more like, it's definitely now if you haven't watched the original, but if you, like, let's say you watch the other ones and you're like, oh, I want to go watch the first one, that killer reveal is going to surprise you. But back in 1980, it was like, okay, it's just an old woman doing these things. But then when you move on and other people get to see the movie, the first one is definitely a crazy, surprising reveal. Things now I'm going to talk shit about. The beginning is fucking boring. And I would say the first at least 30 minutes are kind of boring. I would say up until the nighttime sections, the movie is meh. But after those nighttime sections, the movie gets a little better. Kills start popping up. And the movie gets more entertaining. Like, in horror films, I like to watch the crazy fun kills. Like, I like the slasher genre of horror. So, like, when a movie gets slow, it's kind of boring to me. So, other things I didn't like about this movie were just the fact that it's honestly kind of boring. And it kind of feels like it drags on, especially Alice. Her character, during a whole scene in the movie, it puts you to fucking sleep. It's the same complaint with Terrifier, I gotta say. That the scenes in the movie feel too fucking slow. And in horror movies, and if they're gonna do that, I'm gonna continue saying that. Stop fucking walking around for an hour. I don't like that when the movies do that. It's when they drag on scenes that have no purpose. And if I was a filmmaker, I personally wouldn't put those scenes in. Like, I know you need some filler content there, like, to do something with the movie and try to reach that 90-minute mark. Sounds like a fucking YouTuber when they're trying to reach their 10-minute mark. But no, like, for example, like, some people would say a feature film is not a feature film until it reaches 90 minutes. I would argue with that. I would say if the movie has to be 80 or 70 minutes, it has to be that long. Because, for example, a movie like Avengers Endgame or 3-hour movies like that, they deserve to be 3 hours long because they're entertaining all the way through. But when I saw something like Friday the 13th, they don't need to be 90 minutes. They could be 80, for example. One of the best horror movies I saw lately was Evil Dead. That movie was 85 minutes. It didn't bore you for a fucking minute. I know the first 10 minutes, but guess what? It shit hits the fan. It keeps going and going and going, and it builds up this fucking craziness. And I loved it that it did that. It was fucking insane. But this one didn't feel like that. Plus, but if your movie's long and has funny and interesting characters like Part 4 did, I will enjoy it. Part 4 never had like a truly boring section. You had fun moments throughout the movie, but you never had sections that were meh and just there. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. This is a nice quick review for Friday the 13th Part 1. And later on tonight, I will hopefully have Evil Dead Part 2 released. I got to watch that and review it. So, this should be posted in the morning of Wednesday. And hopefully Evil Dead 2 will come out night or evening of Wednesday. So a nice double upload for you. So thank you for watching, and see you all. I totally forgot my rating for this movie. This movie gets a 3 out of 5 stars. It's okay at best. It's not fantastic.